So, in the previous class we discussed the concept of liquidity at length, and in this class we will be talking about the window dressing and certain other things, and then after that we will proceed further to the management of the current liabilities. And the first current liability we will discuss is the accounts payable and the expense credit. But let us learn about the window dressing. So, when you talk about the window dressing we call it as something like window dressing, means artificially managing the liquidity. Actually the firm is not liquid, or firm's liquidity as it is shown by calculating certain ratios is not that much, it is much less. But if you only look at the ratios, then that will be a you can say that deceptive picture, it will present a deceptive picture and it will not be good for the lender. So, lender should be clever enough to understand that no window dressing has been done by the borrower or by the prospective borrower or by the potential borrower, and he is the genuine buyer, he is a genuine company and having a genuine liquidity, and as and when our payment will become due to be made, they will make the payment. So, now how to understand the concept of window dressing? Let us have a balance sheet here, where I have taken only the lower part of the balance sheet which talks about the working capital, and there we take the current assets and the current liabilities. So, we take here as the this is the balance sheet, I would say this is the balance sheet if we prepare in the T form. So, we are not talking about the upper part, we are talking about the lower part, and here it is the current assets and here we have the current liabilities, right. These are your current assets and current liabilities. So, in this we take here something like say first of all in the order of liquidity I am writing, that is cash and bank balance. Cash and bank balance the firm has cash and bank balance and the amount is 55, maybe you can call it as 1000 crores lakhs. Then we have the marketable securities, and your marketable securities are say 55. Then your sundry debtors we take here as the sundry debtors, and the sundry debtors amount is say 60, right. And here we take the inventory, the last most illiquid current asset, and the inventory is 25, right. So, how much is the total? We will see here. Then we talk about this side, we have the current liabilities, and then we have first current liability is a sundry creditor, right, sundry creditors. So, this amount is 65, and then we have the bank overdraft, right, we call it as bank overdraft BOD, and BOD is 60, and then we have expense credit, and expense credit is how much? Expense credit is 5, right. So, this is the expense credit, it is 5. Total it up, how much it is? It is 55 plus 15 is how much? 70, 30 and 125 is how much? Is 155. Here how much it is? This side if you take it as that, it will work out as 65 and 65 is 130. This is your balance sheet, right. From this balance sheet you now calculate the current ratio, right. If you let us calculate the current ratio here. We have the current ratio. So, what is the current ratio if you calculate from these figures? Current ratio will be 155 divided by 130, it will be how much? 1.19, right. And what is the quick ratio? Quick ratio will be the current assets minus inventory. So, what is the current assets minus inventory? That is 130, and current liabilities are to be taken as 130. So, the quick ratio is this is 1.19:1, and this will be say 130 divided by 130, this will be how much? 1:1 quick ratio, right. Now, quick ratio is fine, that is 1:1, but the current ratio is less than the standard rule of thumb, and that is the standard rule of thumb is how much? 1.33:1, So, if with this balance sheet, if the firm goes to the bank or to any supplier, bigger supplier, mighty supplier, then they would say that your liquidity position is doubtful, we cannot lend you the credit because you are not maintaining the sufficient liquidity ratio, and since your ratio is 1.19:1, which should be 1.33:1, so either you improve the ratio or we will not be able to lend you because our funds may be at risk, right. So, this is the balance sheet, which is a genuine balance sheet, which he is the borrower is presenting a genuine balance sheet, and he is saying that I have this state of my current liabilities 130 and my current assets are 155. So, think about me, but the bank says no, because your current ratio is less than 1.33, so we will not be able to lend you any money. Now, what he does here, now you prepare another one. He does one thing, that he pays here from this he has the sundry creditors. He pays how much? 50 out of it. If he pays 50 out of it, how much is left? This balance will be left as 5, right. And from here this side, how much should be paid? 50 minus 50 if you are paying. So, your balance will be left how much? That balance will be again sorry, it will be left as not 5 but 15, sorry, this is the balance will not be 5 but it will be. So, let us write it again. We have here how much was the balance here? That balance was 65, here we had 65, right, 65. So, what he will do to improve? This is the window dressing. What he will do? He will pay off the say sundry creditors, he will pay off the sundry creditors. This is actual original amount is how much? 65, right. He will pay how much? 50 he will pay. So, how much is left now? He is left with the sundry creditors of 15. So, and this side he has paid how much? He has paid the from the 55 lakhs or rupees or crores of the balance, 50 are gone because this 50 is paid. So, 50 is reduced from the cash. So, how much is left with? He is left with only 5, right. Now, you look at the new balance sheets total is how much? If you look at this side, new balance sheets total will be here, if you put it, it will be how much? 15 and 5 20. So, it will become how much? This will become 80. This balance sheet will, this side will become 80 and this side will become how much? Because he has paid used some of the cash available. So, it is 2080 and it is 125. So, it will become say 25, so it will become 105, right. So, this is a new balance sheet. He will change the balance sheet. Once his first balance sheet is rejected by the bank, he will change the balance sheet. So, now his liabilities have come down by 50 lakhs and his cash has also come down by 50 lakhs. Now, you calculate the ratio again. If you calculate the ratio again, what is the current ratio? If you calculate the current ratio, that is 105 divided by 80. This is how much? If you calculate this ratio, that is 1.31:1. And what is the quick ratio? Quick ratio is minus inventory. So, it is how much? It is 80. So, 80 by 80 will be how much? 80 by 80 will be 1:1. So, your quick ratio is same, it was 1:1 earlier, now it is also 1:1. Current ratio has improved, it was 1.19 earlier and now it is 1.31. So, he would say that now I have a better balance sheet, improved balance sheet, my ratio is nearer to 1.33 which is 1.31. So, it means you give me the credit and accept my balance sheet because my liquidity position has improved. I have improved my liquidity position and I should be given the credit. Now, as a student of working capital management or student of finance, you analyze this new balance sheet. Earlier, the liabilities, current liabilities were 65, means sundry creditors were 65, bank overdraft was 60 and expense credit was 5. So, total was 130. But in this side, the cash position was quite strong. They had the cash and bank balance of 55, marketable securities, that is a backup liquidity of 15, sundry credit debtors as 60 and inventory as 25. But now, when the cash worth 50 lakh has gone out, they are left with only the 5 lakh rupees of the cash, which is a pure liquidity. Earlier we had 55 lakhs of the cash, now we are left with the 5 lakhs of the cash only, and the 15 lakhs of the say backup liquidity is there in the form of marketable securities and other are the less liquid assets. Say sundry debtors and inventory is the most less liquid or the least liquid current asset. So, in this picture Now, as a student of finance, you can easily understand, though the ratio has improved, though the current ratio has improved from the 1.19 to 1.31, but the liquidity of the firm has gone down. If you look at the absolute values given in the balance sheet, it is better to have 55 rupees as a cash rather than only to have the 5 lakh rupees of the cash. Because these sundry creditors which he has paid just now, they might have not become due yet. So, he has earned the cash discount also, and he has paid off this liability also without investing anything from his pocket. He has improved his liquidity position. Without investing even a single penny from his pocket, he has improved his liquidity position. It is only the change in the balance sheet figures. There is no change practically, no cash is infused, no cash is invested, no additional investment is made, no inventory is created, no sundry debtors are created, no marketable securities are created. Rather, whatever the cash was there, he paid off part of the obligations out of that cash or with the help of that cash. So, in that way, your current liabilities have come down by 50 lakhs, but the cash has also come down by the same amount. And overall, if you look at this balance sheet, then you would say that liquidity position of the firm has deteriorated rather than it has improved. Though the ratio has improved, so we can say that if the banks look at only the ratio, then they will accept it. But if they are looking at the absolute values also, then they will be really wondering that what this company has done, and this is a clear cut case of the window dressing. So, it is a point of caution for all of us that as a student of finance, tomorrow if we are working in the market as a lender and even as a borrower, if we are working as a lender, be careful, do not only believe in ratios, you believe in the absolute values also. And if you are a borrower, you can do this kind of things, but be careful that these things can be say observed or can be seen or can be found by the lender also. And if the lender finds that without even investing even a single penny from your pocket, you have improved the liquidity of the firm, which is a clear cut case of the window dressing, that may not be appreciated by the lender, and lender may further reject the case. So, this is the window dressing, how we go for it. So, it means you can say the conclusion here is that these ratios are also amenable to the any kind of changes or adjustments or fluctuations. Anytime you can change these current ratios, artificially managing the liquidity, and that is to be clearly seen that if any lender is clever, if any supplier is clever enough, smart enough, he will be able to find it out that what is happening in the firm, what was in the original balance sheet, what is now it is in the change balance sheet, how much funds the firm has invested from its pocket, and how much how they have tried to improve the liquidity position of the firm. So, be careful about the window dressing in both the cases, as a lender also, as a borrower also, right. So, with this we completed the discussion on say the cash management, the liquidity management, and we have learned sufficiently that how to manage the cash, how to maintain the liquidity, how to manage the liquidity in the firm, and how say the firm's financial cost can also be kept under control, and the technical insolvency can also be avoided, right. A technical state of the technical insolvency can be avoided. So, it means firm should keep optimum amount of the cash all the times, neither too high nor too low, and they should be able to capable of making the payment to all its obligations or towards its all liabilities as and when it becomes due. So, with this I will stop here, and after this, because we have discussed sufficiently on all the three major current assets, we have discussed at length on inventory management, we have discussed at length on the receivables management, we have discussed at length on the cash management including liquidity management. So, after these three current assets, these are the major current assets need to be managed in the balance sheet of a firm or by a firm, right. Other current asset like advance deposits, prepaid expenses, there is hardly anything to manage. So, if you are able to manage these current assets efficiently and effectively, and now the current liabilities, some of the current liabilities, then I think we will be in a position to have a better short term funds position in the firm and manage it effectively. So, after discussing at length the three current assets, inventory, receivables and cash, now we will move forward to the other side of the balance sheet and learn about that the management of the current liabilities, right, or the same you can call it as payables management or the current liabilities management. So, when we talk about the payables management or the management of the accounts payable, we talk here about many things, and when we talk about the payables, what are the payables? What are the current liabilities? It can be many things, right? When you prepare the balance sheet, it can be sundry creditors, it can be expense creditors, it can be bank overdraft, it can be your tax liabilities, it can be your dividend liabilities, many liabilities will be there. So, we are going to talk about all these liabilities, but more discussion and attention is required here in case of two important current liabilities, and these two important current liabilities are accounts payable. How to manage your accounts payable? I am not talking at the moment about all the current liabilities. We will be moving according to the importance, and the first set of the current liabilities is trade credits, maybe the sundry creditors and the accrued expenses. These are the two important outstanding expenses. As we say, trade credits means supplier's credit. If any supplier is supplying raw material or anything, then how to manage it, and accrued expenses are, say, expenses of your power bills, water bills, then the say wages of workers, salaries of employees, because everybody is extending a short term credit to the firm. So, it has to be properly managed because it will become due to be paid. Salaries and wages become due to be paid after 30 days or 1 month. Similarly, in case of these utilities, power and the water expenses we have to pay, or bills we have to pay normally once in a month. And then even the sundry creditors, as I told you, the standard credit period in India is 30 to 45 days. So, that will also become to be paid. So, we are ready to borrow money in the form of these expenses and in the form of, say, sundry creditors, but we have to pay that also, and that will become due to be paid within a very short span of time. So, we should be careful about that, right. So, when you talk about the accounts payable, it includes two things, that is trade credits plus accrued expenses, right, and we call them spontaneous sources of finance. I told you in the beginning, if you remember, when we started discussion on this subject especially, I told you that there are three sources of finance, not two sources of finance. We do not have only long term and the short term sources of finance, rather we have three sources of finance: long term sources of finance, short term sources of finance, and the spontaneous finance, right. Now, we are going to talk about the third source, and that is called as a spontaneous source of finance. Why we call accounts payable as the spontaneous source of finance? Because it is self adjusting kind of a source of finance. Once the agreement is, or terms are agreed by the supplier and the buyer, when both the sides have agreed upon the common terms, then automatically material keep on coming in, payments keep on going on the due dates, and everybody adheres to those terms and conditions. Nobody thinks of disturbing this symbiosis. If anybody disturbs, supplier defaults in sending the supplies or buyer defaults in making the payments, then this symbiosis can be disturbed. Otherwise, this symbiosis cannot be disturbed or should not be disturbed. So, it means once we have the agreement with the different suppliers, that is normally a long term agreement. So, that you will supply us the material, you will give us the credit for 45 days, on the 45th day it will be our responsibility as a buyer to make your payment or to make sure that your payment reaches in your office. So, it means whenever there is a need of material, you place the order, and as and when the payment becomes due, you send the check. So, no need to arrange special finance. We know it that for inventory, for your these expenses, we need not to worry about. For example, you talk about the salaries of employees. Do employees go for every month the special agreement to be entered between the company and the employees or the workers? Once it is settled that your salary is this much, you will be paid after 30 days or 31 days, or maybe at the end of the month, or maybe in the first week of every month, no problem. Employee keep on coming, he renders his services, and then automatically in the first week or at the end of the month he gets the salary, that is transferred to his account. Same is the case with the power supply companies, same is the case with the water supplying companies, that when they supply us the power, they supply us the water, we do not ask them time and again after how much time I have to pay your bill. Bill automatically comes after 1 month or 2 months according to the payment terms, and we send the payment, and that way that system is going on. Same is the case with the suppliers. So, suppliers, once that term is accepted by both the side, or terms are accepted by both the sides, it means that is naturally it is going on, that process is naturally going on. So, it means there is nothing to worry about or think about anything, right. So, this is called as the management of accounts payable. We call this as the ongoing source of finance, or provides these accounts payable provide finance to the business on the ongoing basis, and that is why it is called as the self adjusting or the spontaneous source of finance. Now, how to manage the accounts payables, how to manage your most important current liabilities, that is called as accounts payables. How to manage the accounts payables? I have written here actually originating from the production budget. Payables appear on the books of accounts when materials are received and taken to the store, right. When materials are purchased and taken to the store, so then the payables appear in the balance sheet. So, if you talk about this, originally emanating from where? Production budget. When you prepare the production budget, you know it, that what is your material requirement, from where it will come from the supplier, and once the supplier makes the delivery, gives the invoice is accepted, returned back to the supplier, and material reaches in the warehouse or in the godown, then automatically once the material is received and invoice is accepted, one copy is retained, another copy is given back to the supplier, it means in your balance sheet this current liability will appear, that is the accounts receivable. So, if you compare the accounts receivable and payables, if you compare it, the accounts receivable and payable, accounts receivables appear in the balance sheet as an asset once that supply of the material has been sent to the buyer, and payables appear in the balance sheet as a liability when that material has been received from the supplier, right. So, difference is, in the one case we are receiving the material, in the other case we are sending the material, and in one case we have to receive the payment which we have talked earlier, and in the other case we have to make the payment, right, and payment terms are pre-decided, they are standardized, or there are the standard payment terms. Now, we have to talk about some important aspects of management of this accounts payable. We have normally two things, that is the terms of purchase and stretching accounts payable. Terms of purchase include what? Credit period and cash discount. Terms of purchase, credit period and cash discount. How much credit period a firm can ask from the supplier, and cash discount, if we are ready to make the payment on cash, or maybe within a minimum credit period, for example within 10 days, he is saying that okay, if you make me the payment within 10 days, I will give you discount of 2%, otherwise the normal credit period of 35 or 40 days I am giving you. So, that is a choice of the firm, he has given both the terms, supplier has given both the terms, that if the payment is made to him within 10 days, automatically he will give us the cash discount. So, we need to pay him say total invoice value minus the discount amount. But if the payer is not able to make the payment within 10 days, then what will be done? Normal credit period of 35 or 40 or 45 days will be there, both the sides will agree that yes, now this credit period is there. So, terms of purchase include two things, credit period and the cash discount. Then stretching accounts payable. Here point of discussion is, or point of interest is, we have two parties, one is the supplier, another is the buyer. Objective of the supplier is that he should get his payment back as early as possible, and objective of the buyer is that he should delay the payment as much as possible, because objective in the payer's mind is that he wanted to minimize the net present value of the cash he is paying to the supplier as much as possible, means if he is paying 10,000 rupees, actually he is paying 8,000 rupees, because if he delays the payment, if you calculate that 10,000 if paid first on today, that will be 10,000, but 10,000 paid after 30 days, that will not be 10,000. So, the objective of the buyer is that he should minimize the net present value of the payment he is making to the supplier, but on the other side objective of the buyer is supplier is that he should maximize the net present value, so to give the minimum credit period. So, supplier want to give the minimum credit period, buyer want to have the maximum credit period, and somewhere they have to agree on the common terms, that is a common credit period as well as the cash discount. But if you recall, I have told you some time back in case of the receivables management that there is a limitation of time, and because of the say loading factor, even the buyer wants to extend the credit or credit period, he cannot, he won't like to. He won't like to extend it, he would like to make the payment and get free from his obligation, he won't like to extend the credit. Why? Because when you are asking for the credit from the supplier, he would load the credit sale bills with a certain interest factor or certain interest amount, and that is called as a loading factor, for example 2% per month, so it means 24%. If you delay the payment for 30 days, you will have to pay the interest at the rate of 2% per month. If you delay the payment, it will become 4%. If the delay the payment for 2 months, then it will become 4%. So, it means it is 24% per annum. So, what happens? Borrower or the buyer makes a cost benefit analysis. He says that if I borrow money from the bank and pay him in cash to the supplier in cash, how much interest I am paying to the bank, and if he is I am allowing him to load his credit sales with the interest component or the interest factor, how much interest he is charging on the supplies on credit, right. So, both the things are clear. He has to make a cost benefit analysis. That cost benefit analysis of an accounts payable policy will rest on the minimizing the net present value of disbursements is clearly written here. So, if for example, if the borrowing from the bank is expensive and borrowing from the supplier is say much cheaper, then certainly he would like to go for borrowing and extending the credit period. But for example, that is up to one particular point of time, that is say for example up to 30 days, if you compare the two interest rates, then the supplier's interest rate is lesser than the bank's interest rate. If you make it 45 days, then both are coming closer, but if you make it 60 days, then it may be possible that supplier who is loading, it is becoming 2% per month, it means it is becoming 4%, he is loading with the 4%, it becomes 24% per annum, whereas bank is ready to give you the credit at the rate of 18% per month. It means it is much better for the buyer to borrow from the bank if he can borrow from the bank, that is also a precondition. Bank should be ready to lend him. If he can borrow money from the bank, then it is better for him to borrow at 18% rather than allowing him to load the credit sales with 24% and then to make him the payment in cash. But that does not happen on all the times, because there should be a reason for the buyer to seek the credit from the supplier, and if there is the interest rate of the bank is lesser than the supplier's interest rate, then the buyer would convince him that you are charging more than the bank, why should I buy from you on credit? So, I have to look for another supplier. So, to some extent of time, the supplier would say that if you are seeking a credit of 30 to 45 days, I will charge you the interest or load my credit sales with the 1% per month interest, it means 12% I will charge, and if you go to the bank you will have to pay 18%. So, naturally the buyer would like to seek the credit from the supplier and allow him to load the credit sales with the 1%. But if he extends the credit period, that may be the second part of the condition. If he extends the credit period from 1 month or maybe 45 days to 2 months or 3 months, then he says that my interest will also go up and that will become 2% per month, 24% per annum, whereas bank's interest rate is again 18%. So, naturally automatically buyer would not like to extend it beyond 30 or 45 days, up to which the interest is only 1% per month. After that, for him seeking credit from the supplier will become useless. So, it means the objective of the buyer is to minimize the NPV of the payment he is making, and objective of the supplier is to maximize the NPV of the receipts he is going to have from his buyers, or from the prospective or from the potential buyers. So, this is the crux of the discussion here. Just we have initiated the discussion on the payables management. So, we have discussed so far that what the payables are, why the payables appear in the balance sheet, and what are the terms of purchase, and what is the meaning of stretching of the accounts payable. More interesting concepts relating to the management of accounts payable or accounts management of the accounts payables I will discuss with you in the next class. Thank you very much.